The internet has exploded over the past few years. It's a place where you can find hundreds of job leads and job openings.
I think that one of the things we're seeing with the advent of the internet gives us an opportunity to do things through interactively. We can put information in, we get a response back. And it's fast, it's relatively efficient, and it's one of those things that we're seeing continually grow and becoming more and more efficient and more effective in the hiring process. If I were to look out next, as we looked at 3 or 4 years back, we anticipated probably by the end of the century that this probably would be one of the most viable tools used for employment.
In fact, some companies use the internet as their only means of hiring.
About 2 months ago, I was making a presentation at a national company that does nothing but recruiting for employment. And one of the offices, actually they were in Michigan of all places, which you wouldn't think of it being the high-tech mecca of the United States, but they are using the online services totally to supply their candidates for job recruiting. This particular office reported they have stopped using all other print media and are picking up candidates solely from the internet.
There are a couple of ways to use the internet. If you have a company in mind, go to their website. In most cases, larger organizations will have a section that lists job openings and how to apply for these openings.
Corporate homepages are certainly a way to find information on employment. Most major corporations do have an employment section and where you can go in and you just look for jobs or employment. It'll normally be tagged right off their homepage with an icon that you can click on and go into that area of their website. Most companies have a company profile page, again with an icon off their homepage. You can click in, go to the company profile. Most companies have what's called a product services page. You can click on that icon and go look at the products that they're producing and see if that's something that you have a relative background in or just simply have an interest there or something that matches in your background that you think would be useful for that company.
Well, I think a wonderful example is a fellow who very recently set up his own website. He had been a marketing manager and had been downsized. And so what he decided to do was to put together a website that had his resume on it. And it also talked about his family, talked about his hobbies, talked about what he had in mind. And because he was so effective as someone in marketing, his website was picked up by folks on the internet. I learned about it through some of the web subscription services that I'm involved with. And it was also picked up by the Wall Street Journal. So I think, there's an example of somebody who said, hey, I'm in marketing, the idea is to try to get attention to people, and therefore I'm demonstrating how effective I am as a marketing manager.
Another way is to use an organization such as Monster.com or JobOptions.com to find leads and openings.
Jobs databases allow a job seeker to come in and do a variety of things. First of all, probably the easiest thing or the meat and potatoes of it all is find a job. They put in a skill set under a search and up pop jobs that they would possibly be qualified for.
In most cases, there is no charge for you to post your resume or apply for jobs at these websites. However, you need to be careful. If you're employed, it's possible your employer may be the one doing the hiring. Make sure to ask how your information will be handled when using this method.